All right, Steve, I am live. Thanks so much for taking out some time.
Yeah, no problem.
So, first of all, let's jump right in. Tell us about how Killer Goats came about.
It started originally with the idea of being set in the MUCK universe. We started out, we were going to make a MUCK prequel, and a lot of things went wrong and twists and turns. There was a hurricane, there were some casting issues, and we actually end up making this other movie. It's set in the same universe. It's actually one of the houses that you never go inside in MUCK, is the main location. So like it's like in that world. Um,
Cool.
but it's a far departure from the original idea for the MUCK prequel, which will still make. Um, and then it was kind of this combination of it's kind of a MUCK tale, takes place in the same fictional town of West Craven that MUCK does. And then I went to Ben Bornstein. I had this idea for, Kane Hodder wearing this, goat's head essentially. And we kind of like came up with this, like, hey, we could make this. And, he's kind of wearing this Mad Max style, like whole get up. And we just kind of like developed that idea. And then we kind of build a story around that. And the top house is kind of where it takes place is in other versions. I mean, I have lots of MUCK titles that we'll get to eventually. So it was, but it didn't become that prequel that we, it's real hard to make a low budget movie. It's a lot of twists and turns, pregnancies, nothing of my doing, but just like there's playmates in this movie, but like the original playmates that are supposed to be in the movie are replaced with different playmates. It's a whole thing.
I mean, this is your second a collaboration with Kane Hodder. How did
Yeah.
you score this legend, and what's it like working with him? He's one of my all-time favorites.
He's if you ever like met him or seen him at any of like the Comic-Con stuff, he's
I've
like the
interviewed him.
nicest
Yeah, he's
dude.
cool.
He's really, really cool and genuine. Same kind of thing. I mean, I made MUCK, and I really wanted, you know, we were making an indie movie, we couldn't afford talent. But I thought like I grew up watching him. I'm really partial to like Jason Takes Manhattan,
Oh yeah.
and the idea of like having him in the movie was like really cool. I got a hold of him and then his agents. And one of the things, I don't know if you've seen MUCK, but it's actually the first movie he's ever done with his shirt off. He's never actually, because he's covered in scars from when he had that stunt accident in like '76.
Right.
And we, that was like a big thing, but we actually like incorporated some of those scars with fake scars in his like get up or creature effects in MUCK. But we kind
Sure.
of like that was like a thing we talked about, and he was into it. But like, and he, we talked to Ben, same guy, Ben Bornstein, does all the creature effects, and he, really like sold him on it. We like it'll look really cool. We actually, Kane was like, we could incorporate some of my scarring into so we kind of expanded his scarring. I don't know if, like I said, if you haven't seen it, but in MUCK,
I
he's
saw
got all these
pictures.
gnarly scars all over him, and he's kind of like painted up as like this white albino. But like some of that scar is his, and some of it's kind of exaggerated.
That's awesome.
So he came to Cape Cod for that movie. So I wanted him back for the second one, and he came back, and we're gonna make another Killer Goats movie, Killer Goat Christmas, and Kane will be back for that. So
That's amazing, dude. Oh, like you mentioned, the film stars a cast of 3 Playboy Playmates. I mean, how'd you score that?
um, it's kind of the same thing going back to We had Jacqueline Swedberg, Playmate of the Year 2012 in MUCK. And we basically just I knew that that name, Playmate of the Year, means something in like every language. You know,
Sure.
you expect like hot girls in a movie, but if you can't afford any kind of stars or anything, doesn't matter what the name is. But if it says Playmate of the Year, that like means something in South Korea or Russia or Germany. You know, you get an idea like, oh, that's all right. So we kind of developed a relationship with Playboy. We actually ended up premiering MUCK at the Playboy Mansion. I was actually the last person to host a party there before Hef died. Actually, that's when I met Danny, who became Playmate of the Year 2015, who was in Killer Goats. She was actually just one of the bunnies that was working at my my event for MUCK. She was like, I want to be in the next movie, and we made that happen. So yeah, they just the cachet and the kind of the built-in branding you get, Playboy kind of supports their own. So
Dig it.
and so kind of just became a thing.
That's awesome, man. Well, hey, listen, it works. The film was funded by one of the most successful Kickstarters of all time. I guess tell us about how that happened and, kind of reflect on that for us.
Yeah, I mean that was done like I said originally for like a MUCK prequel, another MUCK movie. And we actually did that before MUCK came out. So it was like 3 months before MUCK came out, before the premiere. But we used, we had the MUCK trailer. So like, basically people chipped in to fund another MUCK movie, a prequel, before they even seen MUCK. And at the time, I think we were the second or first most successful horror movie Kickstarter. I think there's two that passed us since then. It's been 7 or 8 years.
Sure.
But yeah, we did, I don't know, 275 or something. Part of that was some of the tickets for the premiere at Playboy Mansion. So that was a big ticket item people were into. Two people paid $10,000 to get killed by Kane Hodder.
It's totally worth
So
it.
like yeah, like that's how that opening scene was born. And then there's this, I mean, we had a lot of cool stuff, autograph posters and autograph axes from MUCK that Kane signed. And so that was kind of the thing. And it was originally gonna be for a straight prequel, but like I said, there was a lot of twists and turns. Like we still uh filmed that movie and it was Kane Hodder and there was Playmates and it just ended up being a little different story than I, envisioned. We're going to go back and make that movie. Um, but the budget needs to be a little bigger for the MUCK prequel I envisioned. So
That's amazing, dude. Well, I'll be first in line for sure. Um, you wore like multiple hats on this production, writer, everything, producer, director. What
yeah.
would you say was the most challenging aspect for you?
Uh, I mean, I don't know if there's like everything's challenging when you're making a low budget movie. I mean, you're up against the main thing you're up against is you have no time. Like more money gives you more time, and I don't want to sacrifice anything we need, and a lot of money, but anything we need for the screen, that's where the money goes. So all the little jobs that like we don't have someone to hire for, I'll do them. I mean, like I save money, 800 bucks a week, not having an extra dumpster because I'll just take all the trash every night in the morning and just go dump it in a church parking lot dumpster or something. And so like that's like the worst job you could have at 6 in the morning or 7 in the morning after you've been filming all night. And like I'll do that, but that's like $4 grand more I have to like put into fucking creature effects or something.
That's
And that
sick.
made that's more important. So it's a time thing. The if you have more money, then you have more time. So you're up against things like there's if you're shooting it all at night and it becomes dawn and you got a 10-day shoot and you have no money for 11th day, like you're sometimes you're gonna kind of see the sunrise creeping in. Like if you had more money, you have more time, you just be like, all right, we cut, it's daylight, come back tomorrow. But like if you've got someone scheduled, they're there for 1 day or 2 days, or it's like so we that was like, there's one scene with Kane Hodder where it's like blue because it's like morning, and we had to like do the best we can in color to try to make it so it like matches with night. But it was his last day there, and there's no tomorrow. We can't just say, hey, come back tomorrow. You're making a movie for very little money. It's like, this is our day, or this is the day to do this stunt. And if it becomes fucking morning, then it's gonna look like morning a little bit.
Cool,
So
man. Now, like you
so that's the
mentioned, the
biggest
film.
challenge.
Yeah, I can imagine, man. You mentioned the film has like 100% practical effects and gore effects. How important was that for you?
It's like the most important thing to me. And mostly, I mean, like, I like that stuff in other movies, but really it's just born out of, that's what's fun for me. That's like my favorite part. How can I, you know, make this look real, and do it in camera? If I was like really good at computers and did CGI, maybe that would be like my thing. Like, I want to show how cool I can make a dragon look or whatever. But that's not like, that's where now where's my head's at. So like, I want to be able to do it there on sets, and we got to figure out like, how do we throw a naked girl, through a bedpost, like in camera. You got to figure that out. In Muck, we had to throw a naked girl through a glass window.
Sure.
It's like trying to figure out how to do that and do it a lot of times in one take. Like, you got one shot at it, like, I like that challenge too. So
That's awesome.
it's really just that's just the most fun part, is like, how do we axe this girl in the stomach and drag her up the stairs? That's another mock moment. And and then like there's a dream sequence in Killer Goat,
Right.
where she gets pulled in the watery grave. Um, I had a Playmate model and a supermodel in like on a 22-degree night in water that's colder than that, naked essentially. And what we did literally is we got a bobcat and we dug a fucking grave and we put water in it, and all those things. In Fog City, we have a high fall from 2 stories that a girl does backwards, falls backwards, and lands in that same water. Different setting, but same thing. She was the ex like Olympic gymnast, but like
Holy
doing
cow.
those things, you know, in Muck there's a full body burn, all those things. So I like trying to figure out how to do them for real. And I never ask anybody, any of my actors, even my stunt people, to do anything I won't do. So like, if you watch the bloopers, I'm in that water and it's fucking cold. And that high jump, there's actually a high fall in both Muck and Fog City, my next movie, and I did the same jump.
Really?
And because yeah, because we don't have a jump mat. It's hard to get a jump mat in Cape Cod. We borrow high jump pits from high schools,
Sure.
and that's what the high fall is. So
That's awesome, dude. And
yeah, for the kids.
yeah, you mentioned Cape Cod. What was it like shooting on location? I love the name, West Craven. I think that's a great town name.
So yeah, so that so this the I own a house there. I own the Muck house. Like, that's my house. So when I was trying to like decide to make a movie, like, all right, I can destroy my own house. It's awesome location. It's got ocean views. It's back up to this marsh. It's a great place, and I can do whatever the fuck I want there.
Totally.
Um, so that town is West Dennis. In Cape Cod, like every little like county is like, even though they're small, they're like 4 or 5 different cities. So like, there's like Dennis Port, and there's South Dennis, and there's West Dennis, and there's East Dennis, and there's the city over is Yarmouth, and there's West Yarmouth. and it's like a thing they do. They break up all these towns and these. So anyway, like my house is in West Dennis, and that's a terrible name for like a movie and things. But it just occurred to me that like we can make it Wes Craven, and we could like, and that just became like my idea that like all my movies will be in this like expanding little horror world that is in West Craven on Cape Cod, because it's a very strange place to like have movies set. But it's old. Like it's like it looks like nothing else. You got like, you got like the beaches everywhere. You got water. It was like the first place that was settled by like the pilgrims. So it's old. Like that cemetery that's in all my movies. It just happens to be like 2 blocks from my house, but it's one of the oldest cemeteries in the country. Just because
Oh,
it's
wow.
there. It's where the fucking pilgrims landed or whatever. But anyway, West Dennis is not a great name. So like it just occurred to me it could be Wes Craven.
I love it,
So
dude.
all the movies, and we're kind of like gonna build on, there's all these other legends and stories, and we're just gonna keep expanding this little like horror universe that kind of like takes place in and around Wes Craven, like on Cape Cod. And it's a place that like either you have been there, but a lot of people haven't, but you can get your mind around it's different from where you live. It like most movies are shot in fucking LA, right? And I
Sure.
just I just didn't want to shoot a movie in LA that looks like everything else. And I
Right.
like I like to do everything on locations. Like in Killer Ghost, that opening scene, we shut down Mayflower Beach for 3 miles on Columbus Day. And the locals weren't super happy, but we got permission from the city. But like it was a holiday and we shut down the best beach in mid Cape for like basically 3 people to be on the beach. And I didn't want anyone in the shot. So we had to like literally shut down the beach for miles. Um,
Gosh.
and but it's a great location. I mean, and fun fact in Massachusetts, you just have to, unlike most places, you just have to pay a $200 flat like permit fee, and that's it. And then you have to go to the individual cities to a city council meeting and ask permission, and they vote. There's 5 of them, and they vote. They say yes, you can do it. If they say no, you can't. And that's how you get like an ambulance or a fire truck or whatever. You just got to go ask.
That's wild,
But
dude.
like so like I went and I asked and they said, yeah, you can shut down the beach on a holiday. So we shut down the beach on a holiday to shoot our little movie. So
That's
but
amazing.
I mean like it's a lot of production value to be on, a sand dune beach in Cape Cod.
Oh,
So
I love it, dude. That's so cool. All right, so tell us what fans can expect from the upcoming limited edition steelbook set, the 4K Blu-ray. I'm psyched about that. And when does it come out? I'm sure people.
the official release now is 428. We ordered 4,000 originally and sold out on the pre-order. So we have more coming. But it's the idea was like, you make a little movie, usually they're not gonna get a steelbook, they're not gonna get anything like cool like home media. But if we we put a lot of time and energy in these movies, I want it to be like, so my idea was like, we'll make such a badass steelbook that everyone will just buy it for the steelbook if nothing else. Like
Hell yeah.
so we did it's 4K in the Blu-ray, and that one it's got the 8 lobby cards, it's got a hologram sticker, um, and it's got the custom like emboss and deboss, and it's got cool art, and each disc has its own art. And I mean I'm real big into have everything have its like own look and its own art. Like you got the VHS, and it's like
Definitely.
the VHS has its own art, and then there's even like variants of that, and then our Blu-ray has different arts, and the Blu-ray disc had different art, in the regular just the jewel case Blu-ray.
Sure.
um and it's like, and the vinyl has art, and like a lot of times like even like big movies and studios, it's just like, all right, here's our art, and we'll just slap on everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want everything, like I want the VHS to have VHS looking art. I want the steelbook to look like a cool steelbook, and I want the regular, Blu-ray, just like DVD version to have like horror movie looking art. And we have actually another a widescreen collector's box set coming out. It's
Nice.
a Blu-ray DVD. It's got its own fucking art. It's its own fucking lobby card. And then even right now you can we sold out of the 4K, but we have a 2K DVD digital download steelbook right now, and and that's available for pre-order on killerghost.com, and that's got its own lobby card and its own sticker and its own fucking like art. So
That's awesome.
just kind of I don't know. I just I kind of just do whatever I want. Like these things make me happy and
Yeah.
it's fun. So,
Honestly, dude,
I
when
know a
I
lot of good
saw it,
artists. Yeah.
yeah. I was gonna say when I saw all their, like the Kickstarter, it came with like the pillow, plush doll. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Some of these things that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
had, I was like, this is great.
Yeah, we got an ornament. We got the pillow like wrestler buddy, the Kane Hodder versatile go face. I don't know,
Yes.
like these are, it's like even, a low budget indie movie, it takes a fucking lot of effort. And it's like we want all the cool stuff. I mean, like I showed the movie to Trick or Treat. I know uh Chris that runs that and Justin, they're like, dude, we got to do a mask. And they did like a Halloween mask, but it's like,
Seriously.
so the Halloween mask is, we have one around here somewhere, but the Halloween mask of that mask, like, it's not a simple, like over the head. Like Michael Myers is one piece of like latex or whatever.
Right.
This one is so it's six elements. So it's a low budget movie, but it's the most expensive mask they've ever made because the horns had to be separate. So those are different molds. They got to be glued on. The ears are
Really?
different molds, and then there's fucking hair. Hey, someone grab me the Halloween mask. Um, but yes, but they were like, dude, we got to do it. This is like the coolest dudes, mask, and we should make one. And what's crazy is they're fucking selling. Like
Yeah.
they're selling a lot of these things. I'm gonna show you one. So like this is
Oh
the
my God. Look at that.
so like usually these things are like one thing you know pull over, but like this is one piece. This is one piece. Then the ears, then the mask, and then the fucking hair.
Look at that.
Like,
That is killer, man.
yeah, yeah. And like, what I love is the idea that like the number of people that are gonna be goat face for Halloween this year is not zero. It's
Sure,
like
dude.
600
That's
so far.
amazing, man.
They're selling a bunch of them.
That is super cool.
Yeah,
Super cool.
and they started doing shit. They started doing pre-orders before the trailer even dropped. People are just seeing it and go, I wanna own that fucking mask. And it's expensive. They're selling them between like $100 and $150. We have it on our site for 100, but some of the specialty shops are selling for 150 or whatever. But yeah, but like that's kind of like, if nothing else, I feel like if I you you can treat your movie like it's like a nothing movie, or you can, treat it like it's a real movie. And my idea is treat it like a real movie, man, and have all this stuff. Have a Christmas ornament. Why not?
I dig it, man. Speaking of
Yeah,
Christmas, I got time for one more question. You mentioned
sure.
that you're doing a follow up to Killer Goats, a Christmas. Give us a quick rundown on that, man, just so I can.
The quick rundown. Killer Goats Christmas. It is takes place on Christmas Eve in a snowstorm. The following Christmas after the events of Killer Goats. So it'll be a direct sequel, and it's titled Killer Goat Christmas. It's written, and it is 10 times more of everything in Killer Goats.
Ah,
So
dude, that sounds epic.
yeah, it'll, for, fun for the kids. There's a pink bazooka at one point in that movie.
Oh
So
my God, dude. You're just getting me more excited. That sounds amazing.
yeah, it's fun. What else are you gonna do?
Hey,
You
hey,
know?
listen, man, that works. So, all right, cool, man. Listen, I appreciate you taking out some time for this. This has been a real pleasure. And
Yeah,
I
man.
can't wait to see this film in 4K on the 28th of April, man. I'll be buying it just like everyone else.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks so much, brother.